Welcome to the Curious Conversation Collaborative, a community for purpose-seeking entrepreneurs, leaders, and changemakers.
Listen to inspiring conversations with your hosts, inner leadership mentor Tessa Van Keken and business wealth coach Karen Ravel. Right, welcome back to the Curious Conversation Collaborative, and this month we're talking about your business in these challenging times. And today we wanted to pick up on the concern, I'm seeing it a lot in the online space especially, but I'm seeing the concern about actually selling at this time. And I think we're seeing a few people, or different pockets of people. So let's just talk about that for a minute. I'm seeing people who are really concerned about selling at all and feel that it's wrong to sell right now, because, you know, there's a lot of people out there struggling financially and they just feel it's totally wrong. So that's one pocket of people. There's also another pocket of people who are just like carrying on as usual, as if nothing even happened, and are, you know, really are not showing a lot of empathy right now, given the current situation. And there are others who are seeing an opportunity to come up with new ways and new offers that are really useful right now. And again, you might have different viewpoints on that. So I think we wanted to just have a chat this time round about what's going on, what maybe even your beliefs are about some of this, and, you know, what, not necessarily what's right and wrong, but like what do you feel is in integrity for you at this point in time. So I think
and I actually think there's one other pocket, but I doubt they're the people that would be listening here, but I would like to mention it. It's like there's one pocket who see an opportunity, which does happen in general in times of disaster and challenge, that there is one group of people that actually sees it as an opportunity and uses it to exploit.
Yeah.
And there's obviously been the jokes about people hoarding toilet paper and then selling them for $5 a roll. And I don't think that has actually happened a lot, but there is that element. And I mean, I'm making a joke now because I don't think any of us are in that area, but I think you do see some where people are using the corona or using the situation as like, oh, I can use this to sell something. But as I said, I doubt that would be our audience, but I would like to mention that that's happening too. And I think the other ones that you mentioned are really, really interesting to talk about, because I think I noticed for myself that when this all started happening, like part of my business, like the coaching and the meditation, is very much around the emotional sphere for people, like people feeling worried and afraid of being themselves, of knowing what they need to do in general. And I noticed with something like this, which really had this heightened sense of anxiety and fear, that there was this moment where I felt I shouldn't be making money about helping people around something like this. Whereas again, like before, like I have no problem with doing that in normal times, but it's the same fears in a way. So it took me a little time to actually go back and go, oh wait, that's, you know, it's a difference between, I'm not doing my coaching and meditation classes because of Corona.
Yeah,
I'm doing them because people struggle with fear and sometimes need help. And in this case, it might be because of Corona, but in normal times, it could be anything. And, you know, it is something that people need.
Yeah, and I think there, and that's absolutely true, Tessa. And I think there's also, for me, I mean, I feel quite passionate about this. There's a lot around mindset around this. And what I'm seeing is, you know, a lot of people especially who would be here, are coming into business because they're passionate about what they do, and they're coming from their heart. They want to serve and they want to help people.
Yeah.
And what they're seeing is that some people are in a difficult situation, and therefore they view it as exploiting those people.
Yeah.
So what I want to say, there is a difference between exploitation and being empathetic.
Yeah.
So let's take it back to yourself for a moment. It's like, you're in business to earn a living yourself, okay? So there is absolutely no point for you to stop earning a living because of these times. What we really need is money to continue flowing around the economies, because there are a lot of people who are going to need government in various countries. They're getting different packages and that, but ultimately at some point we need to get all these economies flowing again, and that is mostly what happens is by people spending money and people paying their taxes. So those people who are in the fortunate position that they can still offer their services and get rewarded for that financially should be doing that. That is absolutely, a fundamental thing to keep the money flowing. So it's really important that you do that. And I really want to challenge people's mindset around that, is that you're actually here to be serving and you should get rewarded for that. And we wouldn't want, for instance, all of the supermarkets to suddenly say, oh, well, it's really difficult times, I'm going to close up my shop because I shouldn't really be selling right now, because none of us would have any food. So,
and people might argue, I just wanted to say, because people might argue, yeah, but they could give it away for free and then people would also get food. But the thing is, they could do that for maybe 1 week, maybe 2, but then they would be bankrupt and then there would be no food and no way to get it. So I think this is the thing. I think it's not like that. It's not that it's either giving away for free or selling. There has to be that balance that, like, even if you could give away everything for free now, if you did that, then, like, again, if I gave everything away for free, then by the end of this month, I would have to get another job because I still need to live. So then I couldn't give anything anymore. So I like, and I think, as I said, that's why I liked the supermarket that you mentioned that, because it would be for them too. Yes, they could give everything away that they had now, but then it means that in a few weeks' time, we now have no place to buy anything anymore.
Yeah, and I think this is where it's about being empathetic versus being like exploiting people. As you said earlier, there are a pocket of people out there that see this as an opportunity purely to make money, and are looking at ways of using that. And that doesn't sit ethically with me. No. And I know it doesn't sit ethically with a lot of other people. But if you are offering your services in integrity, then people have a choice as to whether they want to use them. There may be an opportunity, as you said, Tessa, for your services, that there might be a greater demand right now, given these times. But you're not going out forcing your services on people. So I think people really need to get that distinction between, like I say, selling ethically, which we should all be doing anyway, versus not selling at all. I think it's a really important thing.
So can I just ask you something, because I think this is I know this is your expertise, this is what you help people with, like, when there's no challenge, also, like, not such a big challenge going on as right now, let's say it that way. There's always challenges, of course, but that this is a mindset, because generally people who have difficulty selling right now because of everything that's happening, most of those people have some difficulty selling when there's no challenge going on too, right? So I think it's just exaggerating. So I would like to ask you something, because I know for myself, like, I know I can shoot into that role of just wanting to help everyone and just give, because I just feel people need it so much right now. So what I've noticed for myself, my balance has been that, and I've only found it in the last couple of days, the last week or so, that I noticed that, yes, I'm giving it a little bit more for free than I would normally do. But I've now noticed, like, what I do is, like, if someone asks me for help, I go a little bit further. I offer some online sessions, both meditation and also some more in-depth, ways to cope with how do you deal with fear, all these kind of sessions. And these are conversations that I normally would have at network meetings with friends, with my clients, and now I'm doing them live so people can see them, right? And can get some benefit from it. And now, and this only happened in the last few days, now if people listen to those and go, oh, I need more, I go, well, look, there is more. And that's the bit itself.
And
so
that
is that like what you're saying, that you
yeah,
can do a little bit more, like just to have that little bit of like, oh, I want to help people, that you can kind of like that you can
yes.
feed that need for yourself a little bit too?
But absolutely, Tessa, that is an ethical way of both marketing and selling. And there is nothing wrong with that at all, because like I say, you are not trying to push your services onto someone. You're genuinely coming from a place of integrity, and your services are relevant right now. I think, you know, like I say, you can be more empathetic. So it may be that, you know, you could offer extended payment plans for your services or your goods right now, if that's what you're offering. It may be that you have a service that is more higher priced, and you could take an element of that and offer that as a lower priced offer right now, so that people can still get some benefit, but they might not be able to afford the, you know, the whole package right now. So, you know, there are ways that you can still help others, but you don't have to give all of your services away for free. And you know, so it's really important that we still keep that money flowing through the economy. We keep our businesses alive, and we don't go out of business, but we still come from that place of supporting others, and actually caring about our work, and caring about the results and the benefits that other people get from us, and that we're not out trying to exploit that situation. And that's a crucial difference.
Yeah, I really like that. And I hope this has been helpful for people listening to kind of feel that thing. And for me, what I really take away from this is also that actually by that like the value we have to offer, the services, if we want to keep serving people, to be able to keep serving people also beyond the challenging times, we need to also take it serious that like it is a business, you know. And that doesn't mean we can't help people maybe a little bit more than we would do outside of challenging times, but that really we need to keep like minding ourselves and saying, hey, it's a business as well. Like if I need to make sure that my business is sustainable so that I can in the long term keep serving people.
Absolutely.
So I really think that's a very valuable lesson, or like, well, inspiration, whatever you want to call it, that you just gave us there. So
always remember, selling with integrity is serving. Okay.
Great. Wow. Great. Very interesting. And I'm very curious if anyone has any questions or comments around this. Like I would, you know, put them in the comments, or I'd say, I'm pretty sure, like, you know, if you want to ask Karen something specific, like, you know, get a little bit of advice, I'm sure you can send her a message or something else. But again, also you can put it wherever you're watching or listening to this. Leave us a message and we'll get back to that. Wow, very interesting. And then next week we're talking about, and it's kind of moving on from this a little bit, or adding on this, if you like, around like how to deal with whatever worries and fears are coming up in this time, not just around selling, but also in general, because I think it's a wider issue right now. And that's linked also to this feeling of, you know, that we can start feeling a little bit isolated because whatever's happening, despite that we can connect online. But that's what we'll be talking about next week. So I look forward to talk to you then. And I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to share.
No, I just, like I said, just remind people that selling with integrity is serving.
Yeah, I think that's a really, like, everyone can write that on their mirror, I think. Thanks, Karen.
Okay,
talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Did you enjoy this episode? Do share your thoughts and questions in the comments, or send us a message.
Do you know someone else who'd be interested in our curious conversations? Please share and spread the word. You can find out more about us at KarenRavel.com
and TessaVanKeken.com. Tune in next week for another curious conversation.